Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Hello there, and welcome on the Think Lab Growth Mindset podcast. I'm Sophie Champagne, your host, and I will be interviewing inspiring entrepreneurs from our community. We will go through their journey, successes and failures, and concrete advice. Today I will be interviewing Eloise Hall from Taboo, and we will be discussing about how storytelling has been a key to launch their product. Hi Eloise, and thank you so much for being in the podcast today. And I also wanted to congratulate you for winning the demo day at Think Lab.
Yes, thank you.
So you are the co-founder of Taboo.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? When did you start the adventure? Tell us everything.
Of course. So the adventure, and it has been an adventure that started around 3 years ago.
Okay.
It started with my best friend Izzy Marshall. We went to school together, and we were also at a leadership conference together in 2016. And we learnt about the social enterprise model, how you can have a regular business with a really social conscience for the profit that business makes in the sales. And yeah, we fell in love with the idea. We thought that's the only way of the future. That's how we're going to solve our problems, is by using the markets that already exist. And then we thought, oh, okay, what are some big markets that exist now? And we thought pads and tampons, and the sanitary product market is huge, and half the population need those products every month, and it's not something that's going to disappear with technology. As long as we're reproducing, we'll need these products. So yeah, we just thought that's a huge market. And then we also started discovering about what life is like for women who don't have access to proper menstrual health care. And often this is really severe in third world countries or developing countries, where the taboo of periods is so extreme that women and girls don't know what a period is. They think they're dying when they first get their period because they're bleeding for 5 days. And I don't know what else you would think is happening if you weren't dying for bleeding for that long. And not only do they aren't educated about periods, but they don't actually have access to safe menstrual health products to keep them clean and prevent them from leaking onto their clothing. So this often leads to girls dropping out of school or just stop working because they don't have anything to stop them from bleeding onto their clothes. It's a really awful situation in a lot of places, but there is some hope. There are some really cool organizations doing things.
So when you had the idea, what has been the first step?
Yeah, well, we had this idea at the end of year 11 at school. And so we did year 12, and we didn't stop thinking about the idea. We still had it all throughout year 12. So we entered a competition called Fish Tank Competition, hosted by the Unley Council. And we won that competition, which was awesome. So that was the first opportunity that people started engaging with the brand and liked it, gave us their advice, because neither of us had any experience in business. So we had no idea what we were doing. We needed lots of advice and guidance so we could get it. And Fish Tank was the first opportunity. People engaged with that.
Where are you producing the tampons?
Yeah, so it was a journey to find a really good manufacturer. We spent all of 2017 pretty much looking for a manufacturer. Okay. And being young girls, we got a lot of responses like, sorry, sweetie, we can't help. And a lot of... it was a lot harder than we thought, I think, to find a manufacturer. A lot of Australian companies don't do private labels, so we couldn't work locally. So we ended up looking to Europe, and we found a manufacturer in Barcelona.
Okay.
And they run off of hydroelectricity, so they're really environmentally conscious. And the products are made with 100% organic cotton, so they're a lot better for your body and a lot better for the environment as well. Sure. So really top quality products.
Awesome.
And affordable, which is great.
Okay, and you started with a big batch, like your first order. How did it happen? Like you could order with them just a small batch to try, and because it's expensive, right, to order your first delivery, your first production.
It is expensive. We did get some samples sent to us to obviously try before we bought, and we had a lot of other women from different ages and backgrounds try them as well, just to make sure that they were products that were suitable for everyone. Yeah. And we had a really great response. They're really top quality products, so we thought, great, let's get it going. So we asked for a quote, and at the time we ran off the figure of needing $48,000 for the first batch of product. Yeah. And we obviously had no money. We also don't have the structure of business to have an investor that can expect a financial return.
Yeah, right.
So we just turned to our community and our family and friends and hosted a crowdfunding campaign.
Nice, okay.
It was great. So that was in the summer of 2017, 2018. And we ended up raising, with a goal of $48,000, we had $56,000 contributed to the campaign, which was incredible. And that fortunately meant that we could use that money to buy our first big batch of product, which was 10,000 packs of pads, 10,000 packs of tampons, which have arrived as of 2 weeks ago, and they're just they're in our warehouse now.
Awesome.
I'll go to pack up some more orders later today. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you need some certifications or quality control checks from Australia or even abroad in all the other countries if you want to develop internationally?
Yes, there are definitely things that we've had to think about, like where the cottons come from, even simple things like what kind of wood the pallets are made of to go in the container. So Australia has quite strict rules of what comes into the country, which is great. And that's been very easy. We haven't had any problems. There are just some things that you need to go through. Tampons have recently been removed from needing TGA approval, so they're not considered a medical item anymore, but there are things that we need to consider for, like the absorbency, the length of the cord on a tampon, things like that are things that need to be thought about. But
of course. And tested.
And tested, yes.
Okay, yes. Right. Okay, right. So now you have your first batch of tampons. What's the next step? So where are you going to distribute?
That's a great question. We are selling online. So
only online.
Only online at this stage. We'll get to the shelves eventually. Yeah. But for now, a customer in Australia can pick which products they need on a regular basis. So they can choose if they want their product delivered every month, every 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and how much product they'd like. So regular pads or regular tampons or both. So we've got a little warehouse that will pack everyone's orders together and then ship off to people's door, which is really great for the customer. It's regular. You don't have to worry about putting pads and tampons on your shopping list. It just comes to your door. And it's a really great system for us. We get to know people and we have people subscribing for us, hopefully for a while.
Actually, this kind of strategy, it's great to gather the feedback from your first customers, right?
Yes.
Because you can talk to them and ask them if they are happy about it. And cool. You have a great marketing strategy. We could see it during the demo day. How did you come up with this great idea of the video? I will put the link in the description of the podcast, of course.
It's a great video. We love it. I think our marketing has very much been initiated just by what we would like to see as consumers, because we are part of the target demographic, I guess.
Yeah, true.
But our marketing strategy is very much focused on questioning the taboos that exist around menstruation and making people feel a little bit uncomfortable about the topic, but then give them the opportunity to question why they're uncomfortable and start grappling with the idea that menstruation shouldn't make us queasy and it's just a normal biological process. So we're a bit outrageous in our marketing. We like to question things. For example, in the commercial, we have a male present the pads and tampons, and we just think that's a really good way of introducing men into the conversation of menstruation, because the taboo of periods won't leave unless men can involve themselves in that topic and learn more. So we just thought, let's invite the guys to be a part of this by having a guy present our product in a really non-aggressive way. We don't want to aggressively question why people are uncomfortable with periods. It's been like that for centuries, so we understand why, but we think it's about time that changes, and women are being disempowered by the stigma of periods. So we just think, all right, the generation of people now are excited about that conversation. Let's make it easy for people, including men. So yeah, for example, our logo as well is red and pink, and they're together, and that's a graphic design taboo. So we like to push the boundaries, make people double take, and then I think that's why we're a really engaging brand visually. It's a little bit different.
Right. And earlier you were mentioning social impact. Can you explain to us what's your vision at Taboo around the social impact? Because I remember you were mentioning during the demo day that some of the profit will go to associations.
Yes.
Can you explain us?
Of course. It is very exciting. We have partnered with an organisation called One Girl. Mm-hmm. They are based in Melbourne, but they work in Sierra Leone and Uganda. Yeah. And our business model is that we are a company selling 100% organic cotton pads and tampons to the Australian market, but we will be dedicating 100% of our net profit, so everything after costs, to One Girl. And One Girl empowers women in a huge variety of ways. They're really focused on keeping girls in school and getting girls back into school. And a huge part of that outreach is to do with providing them sustainable access to pads and education about periods, because that is a really significant contributing factor to why girls don't go to school. So we love the work that they're doing. They're really holistic in their approach. They're very focused on empowering local economies, local communities, and local women especially. So there's a lot of employment that comes from One Girl's programs, and a lot of empowerment. Girls end up going to school, they end up finishing school, which is unheard of in some of these places. It's really exciting, yeah. Taboo started with a community. We've very much embraced the fact that it takes a village to raise a child. It's taken a village to raise Taboo. So we love our community. We love chatting to people, learning about each other's stories. So we're very much involved in conversation on social media, for example. We love getting people involved. We've had more than, I think, around 40 volunteers who've hosted fundraisers and awareness campaigns. So in terms of communication, we very much rely on our community to help us out with that, and people have really related with the mission. It's been an awesome journey. We've had ambassador programs. Everyone who works for us at the moment is a volunteer, so we've got 9 team members, including Izzy and I, that are the core team members of Taboo. So community has been a huge part of communication. We do want to partner with, for example, hospitals, get our product in hospitals so patients can use our product, or universities. We know that there are some pad drives that are going around universities. We'd love to be a part of that. We'd love to partner in businesses as well. There's been this movement of employers wanting to supply the women that work for them with sanitary products in the industry. So we'd love to be present in that conversation as well. So we're very excited to engage in really anywhere we can.
Yeah. So for now you are delivering only in Australia?
Yes.
Right. And do you plan to expand your business abroad? Or?
Definitely, yeah. We'd love to be global, really. We'd love to be one of the big leaders of the sanitary product market. New Zealand would probably be our next step, like most businesses in Australia start off with. But because our product's manufactured in Barcelona as well, we're interested in Europe.
Of course.
Because, that could be great. But for now, we'll definitely focus on Australia first. But we're taking baby steps. We know that the things sometimes take time, but we're definitely interested in getting as big as we can go.
Yeah, right. Okay. And so you and Izzy are not full-time on the project, right? Because you are student at the same time. How do you deal with that?
It's interesting. I'd say we're full-time in a few things.
Okay.
So we are both studying, but that's been really helpful for Taboo as well. Izzy's studying medicine, which is really related to some of the more, biological parts of Taboo, which are really present. I'm studying business and international relations, so that's also
useful
quite topical.
Well,
But thankfully, university is quite flexible nowadays. For example, this semester, I'm only doing a topic in my own time, and I'll do a summer subject and an intensive. So we are chipping away at our degrees while focusing on Taboo as well. And the beautiful thing is that we've got each other. So some weeks Izzy will be picking up my slack, and others I'll be picking up hers. So it's really great to have a team between the two of us where we can really easily trust each other to help us out if we need help, and as well as each other, we've got our team to help us too. So it's a big task, but we definitely have weeks where we're a bit tired, but it's so worth it. And the energy that Taboo gives us from being involved is you can give it up for anything. It's awesome.
Okay. And do you want to recruit soon?
Yeah, definitely. All our team members actually have come from different walks of life, and mostly just because they love Taboo, which is great. So everyone that's a part of it is a part of it because they love the mission, and that's really exciting. So we're definitely open to more volunteers. We're thankfully at a point where we can be selective with who we get on. So we need to have people that are actually contributing in areas that we need more help in. So we'd love to hear from anyone that wants to lend a hand. And of course, we love involving others in the outreach of our mission, just to spread the word and even just spread the awareness, to make people aware that there are women out there that need help finding access to pads, etc. So
Your big strength is your community and your storytelling, all about the communication. What would be your advice for future entrepreneurs?
I think one thing that Izzy and I have gotten out of Taboo is to learn that vulnerability can be really rewarding. I think we came up with the idea and kept it quiet for a little while, because we thought it was quite special. And then as soon as we put it out there, we had so many people help us, rather than all our concerns about putting it out there were just dissipated because so many people helped us, and were attracted to our vulnerability in the way that they wanted to help, and not take advantage of us. And we definitely have learnt when to be vulnerable and when to be strong, but vulnerability has been so rewarding in the fact that people more often than not do just want to contribute, and we've learnt that being discerning in the advice that we've been given is really important as well. We definitely take everyone's advice with a pinch of salt, but more often than not it's so helpful. And thankfully there are a lot of people, especially in Adelaide, that can hand you off to someone else if they don't know the answer to your question, etc. So I definitely recommend being vulnerable, but also being quite confident in your idea. Not everyone's going to love it. We've definitely had people that are uncomfortable with our idea. For example, there was a group of people that didn't like our slogan "Bleeding Love" because they thought it was too confronting. But we ended up thinking about it and we thought, no, this is our intention. We want it to be challenging. Vulnerability is really rewarding, but you do have to stay strong to your mission and don't let anyone pull you from that mission. And as long as you're sticking to the mission and to the purpose with people's advice, it can be really, really powerful.
Cool. Awesome. Do you listen to some podcasts sometimes?
I do, yes.
Yeah? What's your favorite?
I'm only new to the podcast world. I don't really get around to it, but I've watched a few Shameless podcasts. Listened to. I really quite like them.
What is it about?
Shameless? It's just a couple of women who... I've only listened to a couple, and so far they've just interviewed other women that I've listened to, just about their life and their story, but it's really interesting. They're very intelligent women. So
cool.
They've got intelligent stuff to say.
Nice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
And good luck for the rest of your journey.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Think Lab Growth Mindset podcast. You will find in the description some details about my invitee contacts, links, and music jingle production. Please share this episode and send me your feedback. That's very important to me. Catch up soon for a new episode.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.